This is a new author for us. The very first SCP of this that we get to read. The author is called Spooky Bee. Also, Dr. Hollins, that says here. Alright, Spooky Bee is funnier to say though. That's cute. A Spooky Bee, that's cute. A kindly corpse warden. Okay. That's a good start. Okay, of your class Euclid, special containment procedures SCP-2567 is to remain within the confines of its graveyard territory. The outskirts of SCP-2567's territory must be guarded by no fewer than 4 security personnel. In the event that SCP-2567 exits its territory, personnel are required to fire upon SCP-2567 to severely damage it and draw it back to its graveyard. SCP-2567 is to be hurled away from visiting civilians by assigned field agents. Field agents assigned to SCP-2567 are to be supplied with false IDs and deployed under the cover of cemetery tenders. Okay. In the event that, that any civilian observers of in the event that any civilian observes SCP-2567, they are to be administered Class A amnestics and removed from the cemetery perimeter. And here the picture says Jackson Maywald, a deceased individual with similarities to SCP-2567. Kind of fucked. Like, you should put a picture up there, just covering his eyes and be like, yeah, this person's dead. Like, okay. Thanks. I guess, yeah. Description. SCP-2567 is a humanoid figure standing 2.57 meters in height. God, Jesus! And weighing 85 kilograms. Its body is comprised of finely knitted pale and dark gray straw. Wait, dark gray straw. Its body is comprised of finely knitted pale and dark gray straw. So it's like a scarecrow. SCP-2567 wears a black tuxedo and petticoat and a white brimmed bowler hat comprised of the same material. SCP-2567's face has severely large bulbous eyes on its head. Has several large bulbous eyes on its head. Gotcha. These eyes are not fixed in place, and SCP-2567 is able to shift them across its surface to the point in its desired direction. Ugh. SCP-2567's eyes emit a lavender-scented liquid that drastically accelerates flower growth when spread over a burial site. Aww. Getting some flowers there. So why is this person here? SCP-2567 resides within a cemetery 1.3 kilometers from the Site 12M mountain? Not sure, I don't think that means mountain. Sugarloaf facility in Sunderland, Massachusetts, measuring 120 meters by 200 meters. It displays no unprompted aggression to living organism and will display passive behavior unless its territory is vandalized or violated in any way, as defined by the cemetery borders. This includes committing acts of grave robbery, littering, damaging headstones, and graffiti. Of course, yeah. Imagine like some punk does actually like break in and wants to graffiti one of the gravestones, and then this 2.5 meter colossus just runs towards you. When SCP-2567 territory is damaged or vandalized, it will attempt to repair any damaged components of the cemetery using the gray liquid it produces as an adhesive to reconstruct damaged headstones. Okay. Yeah, he's kind of like a caretaker, like the cemetery. Well, not the cemetery caretaker. I cannot think of the word. All attempts to relocate SCP-2567 to a controlled facility have failed. When removed from its territory, SCP-2567 will fall apart and dissolve, and a new instance of SCP-2567 will appear at its graveyard. Okay, so it will always go there. It will stay there no matter what. SCP-2567 displays extreme resilience to damage and will not attack the living individuals that attempt to damage it. If SCP-2567 sustains significant damage, it will return to its graveyard and enter the central mausoleum, where it will encase itself in a stone coffin. After 24 hours, SCP-2567 will exit its coffin in a state of full repair. It's basically unkillable then, huh? SCP-2567's mausoleum displays no anomalous properties on its own. The entrance has a plaque which reads, Jackson M. Maywall, October 19th, 1936, unintelligible. A kind-hearted public servant and friend to all who knew him. May his soul find eternal peace in the land of his love. Under the approval of Level 2 administrative personnel, an investigation into the whereabouts of the corpse of Maywall has been put underway. Yeah, because the corpse is not there, right? The agent assigned to investigating the possible link to SCP-2567 recorded the following conversation with a local gravekeeper. Transcript from Agent E. Vile. Interviewed Harold F. Tanner, gravekeeper. Interviewer Agent Franklin E. Vile. Almost reads like evil, doesn't it? Agent Vile questioned several inhabitants around the town of Sunderland, Massachusetts, before concluding his investigation with an interview with one of the night shift gravekeepers of the town. I can now close this.
So I've asked around, and you seem to have been the closest person to late Mr. Maywall. Is that true?
Aye, yeah. You could say closest, but to be fair, he was everyone's friend. Real kind man he was.
Right, so I've come to gather that he was an admired figure in the community, yeah?
Absolutely. He and his wife worked in the library down by the corner store. They kept the place colorful. The kids loved them.
Can you tell me about them? Jackson and his wife, I mean. I haven't heard much about the wife from anyone.
Yeah, sure. I can tell you whatever you need. Care if I ask a question of my own?
Not at all. Ask away.
Why are you asking around about the Maywalls? Extended family get into some trouble?
Not at all. Jackson knew my mom when she was a little girl. She told me a lot of stories. Just thought I'd come ask about and pay my respects.
You're the reason as ever. Anyways, Georgia Maywall was a nice enough woman. We were religious, but Jackson never was. There are a lot of differences, but you couldn't ask for a closer couple.
That sounds nice. Not many people get that anymore.
Was real nice. Up until a few years back, she's got liver cancer, but Jackson stayed with her all the way through. Wouldn't leave her side for more than a few hours, right up till the end.
And after she passed away?
Well, he didn't last much longer after she passed. Maybe 3 years. He died in bed, though. Died happy, with some of his oldest friends by his side.
What about before he died? What was he doing then?
Well, afterwards he dropped his job at the library and took one up where Georgia was buried. As a daytime tender, kept things tidy in the cemetery. It's a bit of a grim job, but he always smiled. I guess in a way he really was with her until the very end.
I guess we should all hope to be that lucky. My grandfather died overseas a long time back, so did anyone see Maywall much during his time in the cemetery?
Oh boy, yeah, plenty. We all visited him a couple of times a week, or at least, but he spent every day in the cemetery. Every Thursday he'd bring a bouquet of lavenders to her headstone and spend the evening reading to her. I'm sure he'd have given anything to pass on right there next to her. I can't imagine how it must have been for him, losing the closest person he ever had.
I certainly couldn't imagine it. I should probably be hitting the road soon, but I want to thank you for taking the time to talk with me.
Ain't a problem. Any friend of the Maywalls is welcome to take my time as they please. Well, that's a sweet thing to say. You are welcome to take my time as you please. End log. Closing statement as per investigation regarding the Maywall family. SCP-2567 displays thematic similarities with Jackson Maywall before his passing, such as the lavenders Jackson would have at George's grave, and the lavender colors fluid that leaks from SCP-2567's eyes, as well as its constant presence in the area surrounding both Jackson and George's grave and mausoleum. Don't we love an SCP that's has been like caused because of like an emotion? Reminds me of the SCP that like created like a whole field of crystal flowers just to like impress a lady. That from what we can, if I recall correctly, never really had any interest in him, but like he or was it? No, I think she did have interest in him, but like she didn't have not the chance to actually meet up with him. It was during the Roman times, of course. So his effect just created like a whole field of like flowers made out of crystals. Yeah. Very sweet, very sweet. This is also very wholesome and sweet. Still like 2.5 meter tall. God damn, you couldn't have just keep them in normal size. He has to be like this mass. To be fair, if I saw a 2.5 meter creature, I would not dare go into the cemetery and mess anything up. I would just be like, "You got it, boss. I'm staying over there." Thank you very much.